Hey guys, meteorologist Lindsey Slater here with your space weather update. So, what we have going on right now, our sun not really doing a ton. There's a lot of flaring regions that I actually noticed, but as far as anything big that we've had, the last X class flare that we've had was actually back on the 8th. If you see that, that was an X 1.1 flare. We had an M class flare earlier this morning. So, that at least is something to talk about. But I'm not really seeing any big issues here. I'm looking at Space Weather Live. um as far as the last big thing that we've had is again was the X flares and the M flares that we had back on the 9th. It was actually kind of neat, as you can see a full halo going on there. But as far as right now is concerned, yeah, we have a cluster of active regions. You can see right here 4324, 4325. These are actually older regions that have caused quite a bit of auroras and solar issues that we have had over this last month and a half to 2 months. But as far as there's a 10% probability we could have an X class flare and a 10% that we could get some proton events, which would put us into a range where we have some like radiation particles coming from that solar flaring regions. But right now, these are the four ones that I'd be watching. We have a coronal hole right here, a negative polarity coronal hole, a positive polarity coronal hole down towards the southwestern or southeastern disk right here, and then you can see, or southwestern disk, I was saying that earlier, and also a positive very small coronal hole kind of in the southern disk right there. But otherwise, that's kind of what we're looking at. Checking out the helio viewer, you can see beautifully on the 211 angstrom that we do have that coronal hole region here and there. And then if we push it to the, I believe 193, nope, I'm going to go to 131. You can definitely see some of those regions I was just talking about right here that do highlight a little bit of those flares, especially right here. 4323 is looking pretty interesting. I would say we'll probably have some flares out of that, maybe even a solar energetic particle event. Right now, we haven't had any of that happen. We did have a minor R1 radio blackout, and I'm going to go to, let's see, emergency management pages, and you can see there's a little bit of higher frequency in the deabsorption region. But again, I haven't seen, we've been pretty quiet. We've been really predominantly coronal hole tracking this whole time. There hasn't been a lot of these big regions, but now they're starting to come back into center disk. I would say south center disk. So we definitely should be watching these regions right here, especially that 4223. This guy is kind of ready for liftoff. I would say it definitely looks like that. Some other regions that are now on the basically that western limb right here, you can see here they're kind of going away from us at this point. So definitely very interesting. You can see those arcades right here as well. But otherwise, it's just been a lot of coronal hole tracking. We'll see if these active regions do anything for us here in the next day or two, and they probably will. They, again, have been rotating closer to center disk over a while. So, and as they have done so, they have really launched off some really cool stuff. So otherwise, that is it for your space weather update today. If there's anything else I need to let you guys know about, I will let you know. I will post on my Facebook page, of course. And if there's anything that would launch aurora chances, any CMEs, I'll make sure to make another YouTube video.